Hello, I'm Rory from Gymmetrics, and this week we're going to be looking at 6 common mistakes that operators make when setting out their gym floors. The first mistake that many operators make is too heavy a reliance on their equipment suppliers to do the gym floor layout for them. Many suppliers' tendency is to fill a gym floor with as much equipment as it can take. Gym floors should be stocked with enough equipment to cater for their customer demand. This should be what determines the amount of equipment on the gym floor, not the size of the gym floor. Furthermore, there's a tendency to fill the gym with expensive equipment. So we're seeing far too much cardio in these gyms and not nearly enough stretching space, stretching mats for people who want to stretch before or after their workout, and also free weights areas. There's not enough benches and dumbbells. So essentially the gyms are oversupplying expensive equipment and undersupplying cheaper equipment and oversupplying equipment in general. The second mistake that we see a lot of is operators putting functional rigs right in the middle of their gym floor where everybody can see them. Many people are still learning how to use functional equipment and how to train in this way. And people don't want to try new things with a lot of people watching them for the fear that they're going to look foolish. We found that operators that put functional rigs at the side of a gym or even at the back of a gym have much higher usage of the equipment. Customers are far more readily willing to try out the equipment when they don't have a lot of people watching them. The third mistake is while many operators are realizing that free weights is a growing trend and this has become mainstream, and furthermore that females want to be doing free weights, and creating secondary areas for females to do free weights, the big mistake is first of all not making the main area big enough. And then what happens is the males, when they can't get on equipment there, they migrate to the secondary free weights areas and start to crowd out the females that it's been set up for. The other mistake is to not make the weights heavy enough in these secondary areas. Many operators are inclined to put in just chrome dumbbells that go up to 10 kgs, when the real pressure point is actually up to 18 kgs. So these secondary areas also need to go a little bit heavier, and remember to make the main area big enough that the males aren't going to start leaving there and crowding out the females who want to use the secondary areas. The fourth common mistake is making stretching areas and mat areas way too small. This is an almost universal complaint when we do studies in gyms, that soft stretching mats, the thin little mats aren't very popular. People want the big, thick, soft stretching mats are almost always undersupplied, and this is a huge cause of frustration from male and females in that there's not enough mat stretching space in their gyms. The fifth most common mistake is operators not being aware of lines of sight, looking at who's got a view over who. We often say that the person with a view is the person with the power. So if you want to design a female-friendly gym, give the females a view over the males. When we've been in gyms where we've got a free weights area and a row of cross trainers backing onto the free weights area, where the women are essentially disempowered, not knowing who's behind them and who's looking at them, versus in the same gym a row of cross trainers looking over the free weights area, we find that the ones looking over the free weights area, where they have the view, where they have the power, are used a lot more. Power plates is another common example of this. If you put a power plate that's backing onto a room full of people with a person looking at a wall, they're disempowered. If you pull it away from the wall, turn it around where the person has a view in front of them and their back is facing a wall, the power plate is going to get a lot more use. So be aware of lines of sight and who you're giving a view to, and empower people accordingly. The sixth most common mistake is a lack of mirrors. We're consistently picking up requests for more mirrors, specifically in free weights areas. This isn't to say that you should be covering your gym in mirrors. A lot of people actually do not like mirrors. So you should have areas where people can work out and not have to see themselves, because some people don't want to. But in the main, there's an undersupply of mirrors. So create some areas where there's mirror space, but also other areas where there are no mirrors. I hope you have found this interesting and informative. Thank you.